Hello friends, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. It is June 27th and I am here for an update. Surprise! So it is about noon and I'm gonna make this really quick because I have a ton of sewing I need to do. So I'm gonna start with cross stitch. And then I will share the little bit of crochet and knitting I've done, and then I will share my sewing. I am still planning on doing a Christmas in July. I am hoping to film a preview video by the end of this week, which I know that July 1st is on Saturday, so I'm hoping maybe tomorrow to do it or Thursday. If not, then all the preview will be in day one, but I still need to go through my projects. I am planning on making, instead of the tiny decisions for the cross stitch one, I do want to do like a paper, like a little paper container and pull a name out every day. I went through and I counted and I think I have 33 winter/Christmas related projects. A lot of those are heaven and earth designs and I am just not feeling full coverage lately, for a few years now. And so I think I'm going to substitute that for a few new starts, and I will talk about that in the acquisition section of the cross stitch. So I also have a few Mill Hills for family that I might throw in there as new starts as well, just because it is a lot of work to bring out a heaven and earth design just for like 100 stitches or so. And my main priority for this Christmas in July, well, actually, my main priority for the first half of July is finishing the projects for my nephew and my soon-to-be-born niece for my parents to take over to England. So I don't have the mental capacity to pull out a heaven and earth design and work on that. So for a few life updates, we've had a really busy last week. It was my husband and I, our 4th wedding anniversary. We went to the Melting Pot, which is a fondue place. I love that place. It was very good, and it takes about 3 hours to get through your meal, because fondue is a slow cooking style. And it was just so good. We had a spinach and artichoke, I believe, cheese entree, and it was very cheesy still, but it was so good. And then we had salad. My husband had a Caesar salad and I had a California salad, which was very good, but that's not fondue style. For meats, they were out of the filet, which is what I normally get. But I had pepper steak, which was very good, and herb crusted chicken, which was so good, and then teriyaki beef, which was okay. I'm not really a teriyaki person, but I mean, it was still good. And then they have a bunch of different dipping sauces you can dip it in. My husband's had he had the chicken and the pepper steak as well. However, he also had salmon and shrimp, and if you know me, you know that the smell of seafood or the taste of seafood makes me very, very sick. So he kindly waited until I had finished frying up all of my meat before he did his salmon and shrimp. And he enjoyed it a lot. And then there's the dessert course, which we got just a plain chocolate. My husband doesn't really like a lot of variety for the chocolate stuff. I would like to try the s'more one sometime, but anyways, so then it comes with an assortment of things to dip in it. So there was like Rice Krispie treats, there was strawberries, there was bananas, there was pound cake, there was brownies, which was a little too rich with the brownie, and the chocolate was a little much. There was, I'm trying to think. Rice, I don't know. There was a lot of things, and it was so good. We did bring home a good portion of our food. We're actually going to have that for leftovers tonight. And then, Gracie, where's Gracie? Here's Gracie. Come here, Gracie. Come here. And then, yesterday was this little girl's 4th birthday. She was born just a couple days after we got married. Yes, thank you. Thank you, sweetie. So, this is our sweet... Yes, that's a lot of kisses, Grace. Yes, I know. I love you, too. So, we had wanted to make her a special meal, but my husband's not been feeling well the last few days. So, she did get an extra T word. We're not going to say what that is because, you know, then she's going to go crazy again. But, Gracie. And then I've got James down here who I think has been feeling lonely and left out of mom interactions because there's plenty of dogs around. Oh, Jamie. Okay. Yes, you want to say hi? Yes, I'm Jamie. So yeah, we did that, and then we've been trying to get our summer shopping done this past week. So I needed some more work outfits. I prefer to wear dresses, and so just because that's what I'm most comfortable in. I'm like the only one at school who wears dresses almost every day, but that's fine. And so we hit up a bunch of Goodwills because I really like to wear the LuLaRoe dresses. I know, all that top-down scheme, whatever. However, I find them comfortable. They don't need ironing, and if you can get them from Goodwill, they're reasonably priced. I get them for about $5 to $9, depending on which store we're in. And so, I stocked up on quite a few. I think I got like 12 new ones. I got lucky one day at, actually it was a Deseret Industry, which is a low, one, like it's like Goodwill, but it's not. Anyways, it's here. And so, yeah, I found a lot that day. My husband was like, honestly, they all look the same to me. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but one, they have pockets in them, which is so useful. They're modest, and they're comfortable for me. So I get they're not the most in-style things, but whatever. I was pretty happy. And so yeah, we were out of the house basically 3 days straight. I didn't get any crafting or anything done. However, at the start of last week, I did manage to get quite a bit done. So the first thing, I only worked on 2 cross stitches. The first one was Raven Queen by Mirabilia. I still need to finish putting in my order. The one thing about when I do these like massive orders is it'll always tell me like one thing's missing, and then I just wait, and now there's 2 things missing. So I really should just place the order. I mean, the shipping isn't very expensive. I don't know why I do this to myself, but nevertheless, it is sitting there while I am waiting for 2 things to come back in order. But I did get quite a bit done here. So this section has been completely filled in except for beads. And then a good portion of this top of the pillar has been filled in. I love that you can see there's a raven here now. this is part of her dress. That's her arm. I'm just really, really enjoying this piece. Oh, and I did the border section. So yeah, I made a lot of really good progress on Raven Queen. I think part of the reason I put it down is because, well, I wanted a new start. And then also I got to a place with my challenges where they all like ended in the same number area. I think about 1,400 stitches, maybe it was 1,500. And so I was able to stop on like every challenge group, which is basically unheard of for my cross stitching. So I was pretty excited about that. So she's gonna go away for a little while. I'm hoping to pull her out again when I get the fancy floss that is all that green that's in her dress. So, well, or turquoise, whatever you want to call it. The next one was a new start, and that is, it was a total spur of the moment new start. I saw someone finish this on one of my Facebook groups. No, not one of mine, just one that I'm in. And it was one I'd looked at before and then forgotten about, and it just like, it called me so strongly. I bought it and started it within a day. And that is Northern Lights by Carolyn Manning. It has been a long time since I've worked on a Carolyn Manning, and part of it is because Facebook doesn't show me posts from her group, even though I'm in her group, and it's very annoying. No. Hang on. Sorry, my alert squad heard a sound outside. Anyways, so, even though I'm in her group, I rarely ever see the things. And I've been interested in these, are they the Shooting Star collections before? I just kind of forgot. And so when I saw the finish, I was like, oh my gosh, I want something that's kind of color blocky, easy stitching, and I was like, I need this. So I bought it and I started it, and I love it so much. I'm stitching it on Ada because it's just so brainless. And here's where I'm at. It's not showing up super well, but I'm really loving it. So much so that which kind of brings us to the stash portion of this video. I love it so much so that I am planning on some new starts for Christmas in July in the Carolyn Manning ones. So I don't think my printer is printing the, it might be low on the red. I don't know, because I don't think that this printed accurately. But this one is Please Be Home for Christmas. And this is going to be one of my new starts during Christmas in July. I'm super looking forward to it. And then the other one I bought is Home for the Holidays. So this is shown as stitched in one piece, but I'm thinking about stitching it in 4 pieces and turning them into ornaments. So I need to figure out what the best, I think it's about 83 stitches by 83 stitches. So I need to figure out what the best stitch count is that to do a decent size, but then having those as ornaments. And I'm super excited about it. I love them. These work really well in Pattern Keeper. So, yeah. So these are going to be 2 new starts for Christmas in July. I'm going to put these, where am I going to put these? Somewhere so they won't blow away. I have the fan on. By the end of this week, it's supposed to get to 108, which I'm not looking forward to, but we've had a very mild summer so far, so I am thankful for that. This isn't stash per se, but the next part came out on this Castle Homecoming one. I probably won't work on it until the week before part 3 is out, just because I really need to work on my nephews and nieces projects. And so when I get a chance to stitch, I'm liking stitching on something that's as blocky and as quick as that. While I was at Goodwill, I found a couple of cross stitch related acquisitions. So I got this. It was just a couple of dollars. It comes with the Karen watercolors. I also found and got a couple, like this bag that had other Karen watercolors in it, so I might swap it out for one of those. I don't know yet, but this was just a couple of dollars, so I thought, even though I don't really stitch with this kind of thread, that was worth getting. It also came with this fabric, and I think it's got some non-stitched edge. I don't know what that is, so I'm always excited to learn a new stitch. So I just thought that one would be fun. And the final cross stitch related thing that I found is just a bag with some DMC in it. And with the cost of DMC these days, I think this was $3. So I was like, I'm gonna get that. Because DMC is so ridiculously priced these days. On our anniversary, we did stop at Barnes & Noble's. And I got this cross stitcher magazine, and it's King Charles III's coronation and also celebration. So I'm really looking forward to stitching on that. I also, it's got this seasonal one that I think looks really cute. I need to find the first part, which maybe is winter. I don't know. This is one I keep meaning to actually subscribe to because I just don't go to Barnes & Noble's often enough, and I usually like a lot of what's in here. I just haven't done it yet. Here's a bigger picture of that King Charles III coronation one. Sorry, I thought I heard a sound, so that's why I stopped like that. Anyways, and here's that spring blooms pattern. And I thought maybe it was just part 2 of this pattern, but it's not. This whole pattern is in here. So the first part must be a different seasonal one, I would think. So I like to have whole collections. So yeah. And then we've also got a Westminster Abbey one. Anyways, I think this one was definitely worth the price. Just trying to see if there's anything else really cute in there. I think it's called Dress Up Time. But yeah, I mean, I've never really stitched from a magazine, but I always think they're really cute, and I always would like to stitch. Oh, this Take a Tea Break one. Look at that. And so, yeah, I just keep collecting them. Here is part 1 of the street celebration, so that must be what part 1 is. Here's the whole design. Street party. Does it say who it's by? Amanda Butler. Anyways, I think it's really cute, so yes, I need to work on some of these, but also I need to finish things, so I probably shouldn't actually start anything right now. Oh, look at this, a stitch along that started. I think this is the first one, and it's Landmarks of Britain. That's really cute. Oops. Anyways, so yeah, enough of that, but that is the magazine. Now I will share really quickly my little bit of yarn progress. So I thought I would work for 30 minutes a day on this. That lasted one day, if even it was 30 minutes. This is where I started. And that's how much I did. Basically one repeat. So not great progress, but yeah. I'm just really busy right now. On my nephew's blanket, which the yarn has completely fallen apart, I put in this progress keeper so we can see what I've done. So I've done a few more rows. I still want to make it wider. So let's see. If I was cuddled up under this blanket, I would think it needs to be just a little bit wider. This is the state of the yarn ball. It's a mess. So I only got a little bit of progress on that. And then on my nieces, I got even less progress. Let's see. I did put a progress keeper on this. Oh, there it is. So I think I've done one, maybe 2 rows, or maybe I started on the second row. So I did 1.5 rows. I basically just worked on this at church. So this one, I really need to put some good progress into it. But I suppose since I'm working on Evelyn's quilt instead of Hayden's, that I can work on Hayden's Afghan. So anyways, okay, I finished making all of the 4 patches. That 4 patches look like this. And so last night I made 2 disappearing 4 patches, and I wanted to get my sister's okay before that she liked it before I went and did the rest. And I'm hoping to do basically all of the rest of them today because we are getting short on time. However, I have estimated it's probably going to take about 10 hours, so I might have to work on it tomorrow too. But so here is one disappearing 4 patch. Oh, upside down. Disappearing 4 patch. And here is the other, so you can kind of see what they look like. And so when you compare them like side by side like this, it elevates the 4 patch from being a little bit boring to having some fun. And so yesterday I finished sewing those, and then I ironed them all, which it took like 45 minutes to iron all of these. So that was not fun. But I timed this one, and it took me 20 minutes to do. And that included twice I had to rip out some seams. So I'm hoping it'll actually take closer to 15 minutes. But we will have to see. So yeah, I need to wrap up this video so that I can work on that. My husband's out of the house today at the office, And so that'll give me a good amount of uninterrupted, hopefully, time. And then he said he has to go in tomorrow too, which I'm hoping then that I will be able to lay out the squares and get them so they look nice, and then start sewing the squares all together. So this is my only stash acquisition. It's the Next Part blocks 2 and 8 in the sew along. I didn't finish the first months. I'm hoping to do both of the months after I'm done with the quilts. So really have to get moving on that. In terms of plans for this week, I would love to get Evelyn's quilt top completed and start the quilt top for Hayden. On the 4th, we are going down to Fresno to go to a baseball game with my parents and my grandfather and my youngest sister. That is our 4th of July tradition. I think we are probably going to stay the night, and yeah, we'll probably stay the night and then we'll come back here. I'm gonna need to figure out another time I can go down there, because there's no way I can finish the whole quilt by 4th of July to give to my parents to take. So I'll need to figure that out. But so yeah, so most of my craft time this week is going to be dedicated to the quilts and the Afghans. If I need to do some cross stitch for the various cross stitch game groups I'm in primary 4, but my own one doesn't require staying up to date as much. But I'm also in one called Harvest Stitchers, where you have a farm and you're trying to expand upon it. So like right now we have 2 cows and 4 chickens, and we're trying to cut down wood and pickaxe stone in order to build a cabin, and then there's various upgrades after that. We also have a dairy processing center. You have to you have to give your cows affection and feed them, and when you do that you get milk. And same with the chickens with eggs, and then you can turn those. Eventually, we're not at the part yet where we can make omelets or anything like that, but eventually you can do that. And that's just, it's fun. But then there are sometimes events, like this week there's a hot air balloon show, I believe, that we're supposed to be stitching for. I haven't stitched at all, but when some stitching is required, I plan on doing this one just because it's fast. With all those color blocks. The other group I'm in is a Jurassic Park one, and I have a feeling there's going to be a new event imminently, today or tomorrow possibly. But right now we are working on some upgrades for our park, and that is, what are we doing? We're doing an escape room and one of those gyrosphere. If you've seen Jurassic World, you know the big round glass thing. We're adding that to our park. We're also adding I think like a river cruise or something like that, and then we have to stitch for the dinosaurs in there. Anyways, it's a lot of fun to like build your Jurassic Park, but yeah. The final other main game I'm in is called Hell's Stitchin', obviously like Hell's Kitchen. Although I don't know that it's really like Hell's Kitchen, except for the fact that it's like, it's a kitchen. Because I mean, there isn't really like the competitions that you have in Hell's Kitchen, but I love that show. Anyways, so right now we are doing an event that I have not stitched for at all. But what'll happen is usually once every other week, there will be an event that has orders, and the orders will tell you what to make. And like there's recipes. And so you first have to stitch for the ingredients. And so we have our refrigerator and our pantry that's currently stocked. And then you have to stitch to assemble the like hamburger or the hot dog, and then you have to deduct those ingredients. So it's like for 100 stitches you get let's say 6 hot dogs, and then another 100 stitches is like 6 hot dog buns, and then you have ketchup and mustard and pickle relish and all those type of things too. So you deduct those from your inventory after you've assembled it. So it's not like you're stitching for the ingredients every time. You're taking from the pantry. And so anyways, so I do really enjoy that game and doing the orders, although the only order I really have memorized is a classic soda. That's my go-to stitching item because almost every order has it. But so for completing orders as your team, you get, she calls them caps, and that allows you to buy upgrades for your equipment or to buy more recipes. I think eventually there's going to be other upgrades that you can unlock, but anyways, I enjoy that game. I just think it's fun trying to get as many of the recipes or orders completed. If you haven't unlocked a recipe, then you're not punished by not completing the order. You just don't get as many caps. So yeah, right now so it alternates between that and a non-stock event, which is what it currently is, which is right now, I think it's weddings. And so you're having to stitch for appetizers, stitch for entrees or whatever, but it's not coming out of your stock. And then at the end you get so many caps based off of how many weddings you were able to complete. And right now I'm not even sure my group's gonna finish one because we're just I don't know, we're going through a not stitchy period for all of us. Anyways, so if I have to stitch for any of those, I will probably do it on this Broken Stars, the Northern Lights. Yeah, I think, I didn't get any yarn, so I have no yarn stash to update. Oh, the one more thing. For my anniversary present, my husband bought me a Cricut Maker 3. Yeah, a Cricut Maker 3. I've not had the opportunity to take it out of the box and explore it or whatever, but I have been buying things for it. I'm not gonna share that stash or anything, but I have a lot of fun, like a lot of ideas on how I want to use it in the library, primarily for the bulletin board. But also I want to get, you know, the like table number things. I want to get some of those, hopefully blank, so that I can do it myself. And then print out numbers to go on them and put them on top of each shelf so that when the kids ask me, Mrs. Ballin, where are the sports books? And I always point and I say, they're over there. And then they don't go to the right shelf because their version of where I pointed, they didn't see it properly. So now I'll be able to go, it's over there on shelf 16. And they can hopefully find the 16 and find the books. So I am really looking forward to hopefully implementing this process. It's one of the projects I'm most excited about. But then also for bulletin boards, and I did get a couple blanks. I got 2 canvas bags that I want to come up with some kind. I didn't have a design idea when I bought them, but they were like $3. $2.50, $3. And I was like, well, this would be a good starter thing, like to have and then come up with something to put on it. And I also bought a black tumbler. Haven't come up with a design yet, but I want to do something library related and have that for work. So yeah, I will look more into exploring that after I finish the madness for my niece and nephew. So with that said, I'm going to stop this, go eat a quick lunch while editing this, and then sew like a mad woman. So I will talk to you guys real soon. Thanks. Bye.